Today's special guest is an inspiration to many. He is most well known for his football content on TikTok, where he has 109,000 followers and 7 million likes. He is in the middle of his journey to play professional football and is one of the hardest workers you'll find. What a great opportunity to have today to interview all the way from New Jersey, James Dignan. How you doing, bro?
Doing well, especially after that intro. That was the first time I've gotten an intro like that. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
AJ is a pro at intros. He writes out an intro for every show.
I've been working on it.
Oh,
I've been
that's
working
good,
on it.
man. I like that.
So you're our third interview and probably our most well-known one. Zach has more football-based questions, like I mentioned before, off air, and I have more personal-based questions. But I want to get us started. Who were some role models you had growing up, and then currently on your football journey? And we'll get into that, obviously. But currently, what are some role models that you have as well?
Uh, it's changed now because I'm switching positions, but I would say I really it hurts me for this to be the first name that comes out as a Jet fan, but Julian Edelman, his story is pretty special. Honestly, I read his book too. His story is crazy. Like he dated Jerry Rice's daughter, and like he was
I did
crazy.
not
The
know
guy
that.
played
Yeah.
22 plays offense and defense in the AFC Championship. But that he's a role model because of that. Because he didn't look the part. He had injuries in college and in the beginning of his career. It took him a while to get to where he was at, and he just made himself available as a football player. He didn't make himself. All right, I'm only gonna. Hey, Bill's gonna put me where Bill puts me.
Yeah.
I'm sacrificing my body. Dude broke his hand and then caught a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like that would be why
Ridiculous.
I
Unreal.
look up to a guy like that. Even though it's disgusting to say that as a Jet fan, it's terrible. But
Well, we're
yeah,
from St. Louis area, so we had to deal with the. I mean, we were young, but the Rams losing to the Patriots early in the
mm,
2000s, so we have Patriots hate building from that too. So we're kind of with
yeah.
you on
Well,
that.
there's also the second one. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
that one you guys got.
Yeah. So when they left St. Louis and went to LA, we kind of. I mean, he's a Cowboys fan, so I don't know how
Mm.
you feel about that, but
A lot of people don't have good feelings about that.
I took like a year off from football. It just
Mm.
disgusted me how they left St. Louis, and so I hopped on the Seahawks bandwagon in like 2016 or 17, and I've been riding with that. So you obviously know my pain with Russell Wilson leaving now. So,
Mm.
um,
Yeah.
but then so is Edelman the guy currently that you kind of mold yourself after?
Probably switching to slot receiver too. There's so many guys that I respect that play it at that high of a level, but I would say that's easily the first person that comes to mind, especially knowing in depth his story. He has like 250-page book, and like that, he's definitely up there. But I respect a lot of people outside of football too. David Goggins is definitely someone like that I'm really into. I read a good amount, and I would say I look up to more people outside of football than I do inside of football. Like LeBron, I have his jersey on my wall. Like he's the
Let's
only person I
go,
have on my
man.
wall. Like,
Literally, he's been my role model since I was a kid, and Zach here
yeah,
hates him. So I'm
Not a
with
yeah.
you,
LeBron
bro.
fan.
No, love. I look the flopping and all that. I don't respect that part at all. But for what he does off the court, building the schools to allow kids to have scholarships and opportunity to go to school that usually wouldn't, being on the comm app and all the stuff he pushes off the field, and the fact that if I have his jersey and then my jersey next to it, it says my name.
Yeah,
It all works out. So
that's sick.
those are other role models, but for football, it's probably Julian.
Good.
Yeah, so kind of going on along with that, kind of tell us a little bit about your ambition to become a pro football player.
Yeah, so I've loved football ever since I'm little. I think honestly, what probably got me into it is my my friends. I lived in Manhattan growing up. That I grew up in the middle of the city, and we would play in the back courtyard, and I was good at it. I enjoyed it a lot, and it got to a point where there were so many fights would break out playing with like shoving kids into concrete walls that the principal had to take a lunch break and be the auto quarterback every time that we had recess.
That's
Because
awesome.
like we couldn't be controlled otherwise. And
Yeah.
we would be able to stay as long as we did our schoolwork, we could stay a little bit into class if we're in overtime. Like, so that was special. And then I lived 2-3 minutes away from Central Park as well. So that was definitely how I bonded with my dad a lot when I was younger, because we would be in the middle of the park. It's on a Saturday. I'm finally getting to see him because he would work all day during the week, and I don't get to see him that much. So I would see him there, and then there would be people just laying in the park, and they would clap because I'm like 7 and I made
Yeah.
a cool catch.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, this is out of the entire week. This is the best feeling I have, is every time I'm playing football. So
Yeah.
like that kind of built into it. High school, I didn't play a lot. I was injured constantly. Like after the first game in practice, I got the sleeve rolled up right now, but I still have you're not gonna be able to see. I still have a scar on my arm from a helmet hit that I took where I got picked up down, like face mask imprinted on my arm, and my arm was bleeding a lot. So I just wrapped it on my jersey because I don't want to come out of practice because I'm psycho. But
Yeah.
I would just wrap it, and they said, all right, go on kick return. So I'm one armed on kick return, and I had an all-state wrestler grab hold of me, and I got slammed and I got knocked out completely, like a minute just on the ground, knocking on my helmet. And I'm not paralyzed, put the helmet on, I'd start running to the sideline. They're like, yeah, that's definitely not how this works.
No.
So
Yeah.
I missed a few weeks from that. And then sophomore year, same thing. I got a concussion in game. I had my left tackle down blocked on a 3-step. So he went here, and I got killed, and I smacked my head on the ground from that too. I had my ribs were all messed up, my hip. So I didn't get to play as much as I wanted to in high school, and I kind of figured it was over. So that's really what got me into content, where I was like, all right, I got to start thinking about after football, because 5'8", 5'9" quarterback, at the beginning of COVID, 5'8", now I'm 5'9", and with no high school experience, this path to pro thing, it's not looking so good, to be honest. But then I started to get back into it. My friends, I have one who has an opportunity to play pro soccer, another one that might play pro basketball. So my circle with them doing that, I was like, I'm still young enough. I could turn this around. I could figure it out. So I started getting back into it, started documenting it. Very quickly had an opportunity to go to an arena football tryout. I did make the team, but declined because of some stuff that was going on there. I actually talked to the coach today, so I'm on good terms. But yeah, so now I'm gonna look to play JUCO and then look to play real college from there.
So you're 19, right?
Yeah, I'm 19.
Okay. And so you kind of just mentioned it there, but about using your platform, I guess because you didn't know how your football career would turn out. But my question was, what made you start using your platform? Like, is it just because of that?
I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with when I lived in the city, I didn't have any neighbors. Like like where you would have a neighbor, I had Hermes where they would get shut down so Beyonce could come in and shop without anyone bothering her. So
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to chill with Beyonce. Like, there's no one. Like, I didn't have anyone. You want to go hang out with friends. Okay, they're 20 minutes away in the city, and it's after work for my parents. They don't want to go in New York City traffic in our, so you don't really see friends that much. You maybe meet up in the park. So I was very, very close with my dad, very close with my dad. So that's what we bonded over. That's the only thing I knew was football. That's the only connection that we had at the time. So I would talk football constantly. I remember even when I was like 11, I'd go in the basement, 7:30 in the summer, get my suit on. I start writing articles in my notebook. I think I still have it somewhere. I'll go outside, get my little earpiece. I'm talking to nobody, literally talking to air. There's still videos of it. I'm talking about Jimmy Graham getting traded to the Seahawks, and what's going to happen, Odell, and so I've always loved this, and I wanted to get into content. I did a little bit with mental health, and I'm starting to mix that into what I'm doing again. But I saw an opportunity with COVID. I don't know what I'm going to do. I still love football, and I'm starting to really understand how content works. So started studying for 4 months, other content creators on TikTok. Took another 4 months to start practicing stuff. And then after that, it started to take off.
So we're both only only children. So we kind of know that feeling of when we were a kid, like throwing the football to yourself, like running and trying to catch it under it. And,
Oh,
like, you just got to stay busy.
I was Larry Fitzgerald and Darrell Revis. It was insane.
Yeah.
I come off the line, Larry Fitz. Now I turn back around, throwing Darrell Revis. Dude,
Me and my
long,
dad, we would
all
go,
day.
he'd be the quarterback, I'd be the receiver. Then after like going to my high school and watching a lot of games when I was a kid, we would, because they'd always on the sideline have like different hand signals for different plays. So then we, of course, had to, I'm like, we had to come up with a hand signal for every different route I run. So we just go up there and I'm like, the wheel route.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my next question is kind of a basic question. Who is your favorite football player of all time?
Of all time. Favorite Jet of all time, despite what he did for us, like wasn't great, but Mark Sanchez. He was right when I started watching, he became the franchise quarterback, his dad being a captain firefighter. I like that everything that he's done since playing, and I like that even though he was completely trashed through the media, completely, and he's been given every opportunity to say, Rex screwed me, the organization screws me. Like he's never done that. And I respect him a lot for that. And because he was the guy when I first started, but LaDainian Tomlinson is probably my favorite player that I've ever watched play. And I was unbelievably psyched when we got him. He, it was at the very end, but oh my God, I had
still cool.
The Chargers jersey and I had the Jets jersey of him. I loved LT. LT was amazing.
And you obviously have, I mean, social media, you only really see what people post, obviously. So I don't obviously know you. I don't know everything that you do. But what is, I know it just seems like you're busy all the time. I mean, I've been following your story for about a year now. So this is pretty cool for me, bro. But what does a day in the life look like for you?
Chaos. That's what it looks like. It really does. I try and keep it so structured. And the most important thing to me is just getting off on the right foot. And I have a morning routine. I do the same thing every single morning when I wake up. I have to wash up, make my bed, do all that. But I stretch every single morning. I journal every single morning. There's certain things that have to get done for me to be able to start the day. So I try and set that. But then there's days like yesterday, for whatever reason, I'm Monday into Tuesday. I went to sleep at 6 a.m. Couldn't go to sleep. I don't know. 8:30, alarm goes off next to my ear that there's a fire call. All right, so I'm going to do that. Now I'm up because it was a real call. It was a real alert call. We were there for almost an hour. Well, I'm on 2.5 hours sleep, but now I'll go to the gym, whatever. So I do my morning routine. Another fire call goes off. Okay, so I go there. I go straight from there to the gym. Mid-workout, fire call goes off. I'm like, dude, come on. So I go there. I finish my workout, come back. I'm trying to see friends for a little. I'm trying to talk to my girlfriend a little bit. I'm trying to get some content out. I'm lucky I recorded stuff in advance because it was not happening yesterday. I was gassed. But it changes every single day. And even a few months ago, last fall, I was doing EMT and like doing that and then going to fire calls and then creating content and then training. Today was different. Today, like I don't feel like doing anything and I feel like playing video games. So I'm just going to satisfy that for like 30 minutes just so that I get that feeling out so I can focus on everything I need to do because I have a lot I got to do today. So I did that because I have the luxury too, which I love. And then I went to train for 3 hours and I went to a fire call and now I'm doing this and now I got to record and now I'm going to go see friends. And, so it changes every single day, but I love that because I need that. I can't do the same shit I can't, but I can't do the same stuff every day. Can't do the same stuff every day.
Well, before Zach hops in here, for people that don't know, you're a volunteer fireman 24/7. So what made you be interested in going in that path?
Service is always something that I've wanted to do with my life. My mom's dad, who I never got to meet, he had 2 Purple Hearts in the Marines. So he was pretty well known at his time. He was big in World War II. So that was always an idea in my head. I wanted to go into the Marines. And I was one of the top Marine recruits in the state for about a year. When I was 17, I went through the program. But because of COVID, it really screwed things up with dates. Said, all right, July 27th, you're leaving. September, you're leaving. January, you're leaving. Like, I have too many things I enjoy doing in my life where I can't, like, because I set up a plan at that point. I was like, I'm going to do this. And then while I'm in the reserves for this, I'm going to be doing content. So when they kept pushing it off, it's no one's fault. But because they kept pushing off, I really can't do that. So what's something I can do at home, but still feel like I'm making an impact? Because that's extremely important to me. So I started as a firefighter, and then it helps that my girlfriend's dad is a career firefighter for almost 25 years. So I went to their firehouse, and I always intended on doing it, but I went straight there on the way back home. I was like, yeah, no, screw this, I'm going. And we're not at the same station, we're 30 plus minutes away. But I loved it. And then I saw that sometimes there would be EMTs on our calls. And I was like, well, that seems pretty intense too. Like, I wanted to try that. So I just walked into the building over there. And then I did that for 6 months. That was the craziest thing I've ever done in my entire life. EMTs is like football. And honestly, it helped so much with football. I don't get nervous anymore. Like, you just can't. You can't, when it's, all right, I'm just shooting around in the back of the parking lot playing basketball. All right, there's a car that flipped over and hit a tree. Let's go. And they're like, all right, not okay. So when it's that, and now it's, oh, you're getting pressed at the line. It's like, yeah, okay. I really can't get nervous anymore. So it ended up working out, but I've always wanted to do something in service.
That's great, bro.
Yeah, so my next question is, because you're a big Jets fan, how is it? I know it's probably not easy to be a Jets fan during this time, but how is it being a Jets fan? And how do you feel like you guys are doing after the draft? And do you guys think you're trending upwards? Because personally, I think you guys had a good draft and are kind of looking on the up and up.
Well, I mean, obviously we're going to win the next like 5 Super Bowls, right? Like after our draft, like how do we not? We're the dynasty. The Patriots dynasty is going to look terrible compared to ours. Seriously though, I mean, I haven't really enjoyed being a Jets fan. It's a little tough. Pretty much I think last time we made the playoffs, I was in 3rd grade, and I'm an adult. So, you know, it's been a little bit of time, but I love the other fans because everyone is just miserable together. You know, everyone's just, it is a pretty tight knit community because you wear a Jet shirt, you're either getting told, I'm sorry for you. Like, it'll happen constantly. I met these kids who knew me from TikTok come up to me at the field. They know who I am. They're like, oh, I'm so happy to meet you. What do you think? Who had the best draft? Oh, the Jets are one of the teams. Well, but that's kind of biased as a Jets fan. Ew, you're a Jets fan. I was like, did you not just dap me up and say, like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
But then you'll see other Jets fans like, hey, you and me, we're in this together. So, I mean, now after the draft, though, a lot of potential as usual. I really think it's just going to be a matter of staying healthy because even last year, 2 of the cornerstones, Mekhi Becton and Lawson in the trenches. Lawson tears his Achilles. Mekhi Becton, I don't even know what happened. He's just out for the entire season, 5 minutes in. Then, Corey Davis misses a month. Zach Wilson misses a month. Michael Carter misses a month. Marcus May misses half the season. We didn't have that many good players to begin with, and then everyone got hurt. So, the fact that we were limited, and then we got down to, like, against the Bucks, we're able to compete with them with Kenny Yeboah catching passes from Zach Wilson. Like, I have faith as long as we're able to stay healthy that we're going to be able to compete. But I think a successful season would be sneaking into the playoffs. But more than likely, I'm cool with 500 or above right now because the AFC is just unbelievably stacked. Main thing, I don't want to see us lose by 40 to the Bills and the Patriots anymore. Yeah. That being an embarrassment of a franchise, that part needs to die out. Like, I'm okay, you lose some close ones, a heartbreaker. Yeah, the heartbreak in the first 10 minutes of game is worse when you're down by 21 already. So that's kind of my outlook now. It's a lot more positive, and I think long term they're building the team the right way. I'm definitely more excited than usual.
With Zach being a Cowboys fan, he has to deal with some disappointment on a yearly basis. And me being a Seahawks fan, I have very low expectations moving forward for the next probably 3 to 5 years. I see DK and Tyler Lockett probably being moved. I think Drew Lock's a fill-in spot. And I don't know. I mean, obviously this year was not as stacked quarterback wise. We had talked about on a prior episodes, as like maybe next year, with some quarterbacks coming out. So I'm
Probably.
glad. I mean, I wanted Malik Willis personally. Him falling to the third round really surprised me. But with next year being more quarterbacks available, I think that's why they didn't draft one this year.
Yeah, probably. And there are a lot of Seahawks fans that were saying they wanted Malik at 9, and then he goes 2, and it's like, oh, we still got him. Round 3. Oh my God, we trade back up for him too. We didn't pass on him again.
Bro, literally what I was doing. We did a mock draft and I had him going 9th to the Seahawks.
I did too.
But you talked a little bit about mental health, and I've seen a bunch of your videos about just what you've gone through, really your whole story. But how do you stay even and focused like through the ups and downs that happen? I mean, some days, again, with your busy schedule, you don't know, like you said, you don't know what every day holds. So, I mean, how do you stay focused and kind of driven?
The real answer is I don't. Like it just doesn't happen. I'll have days or weeks where I'm like, yeah, we operated at about 20%. Like this was just not.
Yeah.
For Fire, it kind of works out where, for whatever reason, as soon as I hear it go off, I'm locked every single time. Doesn't really matter how I'm feeling. Like yesterday, when I went to sleep at 6, I had my alarm set for 12:30. I was like, today's just, it's shot. It is what it is. And then the alarm goes off. Like, today's not shot. We're on 2 hours sleep, I guess. So it doesn't always work out that way, but there's plenty of times like, I don't know. I'm not feeling it that much today either. I have the energy for this interview because I said that I was going to do it. I made a commitment. All right. So I'm going to bring it right now. After this, I might just go straight to hanging out with friends and then my girlfriend. I don't know if I'm recording. So that's kind of the way that I take it out and put a lot of pressure on myself with it. I used to put a lot of pressure, but I feel when you're the one creating, you're so much more mindful of how consistent you're being than someone in the audience, especially when there could be someone that seeing my reactions to draft videos today, and they'll see 2 of those, and then they'll see one I posted yesterday, and be like, oh yeah, James is posting all the time, and I just didn't post today. And then I'm in my head on, oh my God, I didn't post. I'm not saying consistent algorithm's going to be against me. People are going to go to someone else. Like that's not like doing it for a little bit now. It's not really how it works. Unless you do what I did from December to February and post like 2 times a week, then people notice. That's very different. But for right now, I definitely don't stay at a high level consistently. I missed training on Monday. I only recorded for 30 minutes so far this week. I recorded 5 or 6 videos, posted 2 or 3 that day, 2 or 3 yesterday. So I don't really let my emotions dictate my actions too much, but I also don't push myself when I know I really don't have that much more. And when I'm being mindful that I'm doing a lot. So I kind of just, it's self-awareness really is what it comes down to. Knowing, all right, is this a time to push because I actually have more and I'm just being, like I'm trying to take it easy, or like I really need a break. So it's kind of just trying to balance that.
Okay, I gotcha.
So my next question is kind of a stupid question, but it does stem on like 2 things. Do you live in New Jersey right now?
I do.
And do you have a car?
I do have a car.
Do you know how to pump your own gas?
See, I didn't, but riding on the ambulance for 6 months, the way that we have it set up is there's a town gas station that only like the ambulances, the police cars, the fire trucks use. So by going there, they act like they're superior New Jerseyans because they know how to pump gas. I'm like, all right, you guys are not that special. I'll figure it out. They watched me struggle for about 5 minutes, and then they taught me. So I learned doing that. And then I impressed my friend because he goes to Cornell, and we were on the way back. I drove up to meet him, and then we were coming back down. We had to stop because it's like a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, like, I know how to pump. Do you? And I was like, I got this. You could go and get your snack. Tap me in, coach. Like, yeah, so I do know how to pump gas now, but about a year ago, I didn't.
That's sweet.
That's funny.
And then my last question for you was, You made a video, I think, recently about how you had 400 something followers, and then now you're at 109,000. Like, are you? I mean, you got to be proud of that, of the stuff that you're, people following your story, right?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely proud of the progress that I made. That's something I've worked on a lot in the last year, is specifically in that period, December to February that I mentioned. I noticed I needed some time to reflect on how different my life was at the time, because I got used to, okay, my life was realistically pretty much over. Like, it was on the brink of being over a ton of times. And I, like, the people that I had around me, like I'm mentioning now, yeah, my friend who's going to play pro soccer is going to play pro basketball. My other friend who has a scholarship to Cornell, like, yeah, like these are the people I'm around now. But at the time, like when I was in the psych unit, it was, oh, I came here because I need to work on me. But then I got a call, and I thought, it was just my mom checking up on me, and it's my brother got shot in the head. And then, the next day, the call is, oh, I think I'm getting an update on how my brother is, and it's my girlfriend's pregnant and I'm 17.
Yeah.
So like that is what I was around. So when I was aware of that, I was like, yeah, no, this is where I want to be. I'm at the floor right now. I'm like, I need to get this together, because the track I'm on, it ends soon. So then once I'm at 100,000 and I'm a firefighter, and I was doing 6 months of EMT, and I have a girlfriend for, like, I completely changed everything. My circle, the people around me, my family, my friends, like, like they were asking me pretty much that, are you happy? I'm like, no, like I didn't, I didn't do anything yet. They're like, no, you did. You definitely
Yeah.
did do some stuff now. So I took a little bit of time to reflect. Now, I'm definitely more aware of what I've done, and I'm definitely proud of what I've done so far. It's just, I get, like, even now, like I'm pulling on the
Yeah.
progress, not perfection brace. I'm like, well, it still makes me a little uneasy, because I know how much I still want to do. But yeah, I acknowledge the amount that I've done.
Yeah.
So I guess our final question of this interview is, what are some of your future goals and plans?
I got
What's next for James Dignan is really what
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
he's asking.
day to day. I have no idea. I got no
Yeah.
idea what's going on. 5 minutes from now, I'll know where I'm going to be. But long term, I know that I want to play JUCO football. More than likely, the program I'm going to work with is New Jersey Warriors, and there's only one actual JUCO college in New Jersey, and it's not anywhere near me. And because it's only one, it's a lot tougher to go play for them. So they kind of make it where it's not associated with the school, but you have to be in junior college. You have to be in a community college to be able to go play for them. So I've talked to the coach there. I'm probably going to play for them fall of 23, spend time training now. Right now, I'm training with my friend Shaq. He was an NFL prospect, and he just got the invite for the XFL in Washington
Oh, that's awesome.
in a
Sweet.
month. So, but he's a receiver. So I'm working with him almost every single day, training and learning a lot right now from him. So for football, the plan is to play JUCO one season, fall 23, put up like 1,000 yards, and then go play D1 or D2 and go from there. I would be open to playing arena, but I'd really like to play in either the NFL, XFL, USFL, CFL, one of those bigger outdoor leagues. It totally changes the spacing in arena. And then outside of that, I still want to be a firefighter throughout. When I go pro, it might be different. I see, like I got better at that too. I said
I literally was about to point that out.
Yeah,
I love that. Like, not
yeah.
if, when. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've definitely gotten better with that too. Because the amount of people like, yeah, but like, come on, come on now, like
definitely.
really. And I'm like, all right, if I don't believe it now, how's it gonna happen? Like, so. But yeah, for football, that's pretty much the plan. Still want to be a firefighter throughout. I left being an EMT because I can only do so many things, and that was so emotionally draining, because you see a lot, like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you're not. There's no prep. 30 seconds before eating lunch, hanging out, reading a book, holding someone's head together. all right, hanging
Yeah.
out. You know, I'm gonna go take a nap. Like wake me up if we have anything, car crash. You know, like so seeing that, like that was taking too much on me. Where I was like, yo, we gotta figure something out here. So I hate that I had to leave, but I feel like it was the best decision. And then with content, big focus on content this fall, especially because I can't play football yet this fall because would have had to be enrolled already, all that. Uh, huge emphasis on TikTok, YouTube, doing collabs because now there's people who are getting invited down to that. You see the TikTok like football house, hype house type,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I've been, you know, I've talked to people there too. So I'm getting different opportunities now than I was last year. So I want to take advantage of that because it's just going to be so unique that I'm going to be probably playing my first game at 20 or 21 in JUCO, but I have years of being a firefighter. I did EMT. I'm already making a part-time or almost full-time income from content, and I'm the same age as I'm starting. So that's pretty much the plan for right now. And then for personal life, I'm still only 19, but once I have the full-time income, you know, probably going to be a little bit, but I would say around the time I start playing football, probably going to propose and, you know, go, because I already know for that too, it's almost 2.5 years. So, and with the change that's happened from, you know, when it started to now, and then giving it another 2 years or so. So that's pretty much the plans.
Yeah. I mean,
That's awesome.
Zach just proposed 6 months ago, 5 months ago.
Yeah, in December.
Congrats, man.
And
Nice.
then I have plans in the making too. But dude, you're absolutely incredible. Great head on your shoulders. I know football is going to work out for you in some capacity. If somehow it doesn't, you're going to be tremendous at whatever you do. You have a tremendous mindset, and I know everybody listening will love hearing about you and your story. Keep inspiring people moving forward. Again, I have followed your story for about a year now. I'm 22 and have not gone through any of the crap that you've gone through, but like you entertain me, like watching you, man. It's fantastic. So thank you very much for joining us, and best of luck moving forward, bro.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate coming on, and yeah, no, that's I'm not used to this yet, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm not used to being the one being interviewed. It's a very different feeling. There's a ton of conversations with you know, people close to me of, yeah, but I'm not like I'm not really doing anything that important. Like I'm not like, no one cares that much, right? Like, I really don't think. And then something like that where the kids run up at the field, I'm like, oh, no, I'm having more of an impact than what you would think, because you're just behind a screen.
Yeah.
You don't know. You have no idea. But there's plenty of YouTubers and streamers that I grew up with when I was younger where I would freak out if I saw them in person. It'd be like the same thing. So it's definitely a weird, it's a hard concept to grasp that like other people like you have been watching for a year. I'm like, yeah, but hard to grasp. But I definitely appreciate you saying that.
Yeah. No, I was gonna kind of like hide it. I was gonna feel out how you are first about things. But when you replied to my my I guess comment on your video, I like called Zach and Colin, the other guy. I called him right away. I was like, bro, you won't believe what just happened. Like I can't believe this. It's really cool to get to meet you. But yeah, again, best of luck moving forward, bro. We thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much. It was great to get to know you more, and for our listeners to get to know you.
Definitely.
No, if you guys want to have me back on, just let me know.
Definitely. Especially pro football player soon to be, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate it, bro.